Hey, welcome everyone to another session of the World of Horen game. Thank you for joining us tonight. Real quick, hey, check it out. I'm wearing a t-shirt and it's got our symbol on it. Isn't that awesome? I like it. You can get your own. A couple of us have our own, and you should because they're awesome. Let's just jump right into it. Thank you for joining us tonight. If you like what you see tonight, please share us with your friends. Follow us on all of the social media links and do all the nice things that you guys are so wonderful and able to do. So, we're going to jump in. Carl Pellier. I think it matters mostly to figure out your point of view on these things. So, Pellier, what happened last time?
Last time on Crituitous RPs, the World of Horen, the gang was at the small town off the Quilting Bay, wherein they discovered a town of very small people, which the party just could not let rest. It was this mystery that needed to be solved post haste, and solve it they did. Theodora was able to determine that the glowing drink that they were all drinking, and is the only source of the sustenance, was in fact the thing causing them to be tiny. When we offered to maybe, fix it, they got kind of nervous about that and said, definitely don't go in this area, whatever you do. So we went to that area. We found a council of 5 seated, possibly in a pentagon. I imagine that wasn't said, but that's what I thought. And they were super insistent again that we didn't go into the courtyard, which is where we went, and then unwillingly brought the head councilman with us. Cecil just tossed him over his shoulder, and we walked into the courtyard, and we found this big old ogre milking a large hog, some sort of warthog or thing, and that hog had 4 children hogs, and the ogre was hungry, and we offered him the head council person, but it was a bait and switch. Then when battle ensued, we dropped the ogre. We discovered he had a shard of gluttony upon him, affixed to a belt, which Pellier nabbed. And one of the baby warthogs died temporarily, but was brought back very quickly. And I don't think we killed it. I think the mother killed it. That's my story anyway. I'm sticking to it. In fact, no, none of the characters saw what happened, so who knows? We just know that one was dead, but it's not dead anymore.
All in darkness.
And that was
all
it.
Right, wonderful. So this delay's gonna do it so well. All right, so our heroes just jumped. We're going to jump right back where we left it. So you've got the head councilman of the Quilting Bay city inside Jaeger's mouth, I believe, and you're carrying him across the threshold back into the main room chamber. And as a reminder that this chamber is more or less just a small hall, a little sports hall that you might have found in your local neighborhood, but the main feature is the 5-pointed star-shaped table that is in the center of the room, with chairs placed between the points of the star. So they're all sat around with a table on either side, and they're sat, or at least they were. Right now, the situation is a little bit different. You've got one of the leaders of Quilting Bay in Jaeger's mouth, struggling as best as he can, and you've got the other 4 cowering in different corners of this chamber as you walk out. So, screaming that you need to release him and you need to let him free, and complaining that you've just ruined everything. The leader is asking and demanding you to release him. Also, he's trying to figure out where his nice fluffy white wig is and his bowler hat, which would have fallen off. So, yeah, what do you guys do?
All right, so I'm not gonna have Jorgen release him at all. He's gonna stay there, and I'm going to, casually stroll by and take one of their seats. Can the seats move, or are they like stuck there? Like,
Yeah.
All right. So
no, the seats can move. Yeah,
the
the chairs are just normal chairs.
All right, I take the chair and I'm dragging it all the way to the ones that are cowering in fear. I'm gonna place it down. Like how people cool in the movie sit down. I just sit down.
You're gonna Riker it?
It's like sit down and be like, all right, well, tell us what exactly was all that, please.
It was an ogre that was kind of in charge. Dead. Yes.
So you guys were fakies. You guys were fake, basically. You guys weren't really in charge. The big boy was in charge.
No, we still ran this place. It's just we ran it so that we could feed him.
I just turn around to everybody. I give him like a face like I don't want to talk anymore. Can someone please like interrogate these people? I'm done with these people. They're so stupid.
Do I know if there are law keepers or a
law
law
need to interrogate. Just ask us a question and I will. You haven't seen one.
Elara steps up. I wasn't here last time, so she steps up a little confused, and she had bent down and picked up this white wig off the ground, and she is like, "What in the deep sea eel's hide is going on?" And
thank the gods, Elara. Oh, I missed you so much. Come here, follow me. We've got some pigs out back that need your attention immediately.
she's like, okay, and walks with her.
I'll show her the 4 baby piglets with the big old boar and explain how the boar's milk was being corrupted and fed to the populace. One of the baby boars died. They're all freaking out right now. I revived the baby boar, but still wounded.
These boar, the mother's boar's milk was being corrupted.
Yeah, in the process.
And corrupting the populace? Or it fed to the populace, and that was making them short?
I don't know what all that's about. There's shortness, sure, but I really sense that there was more to it than all that. I don't know what.
Okay.
We do know that one of a spark of one of the sins. Do we know that?
Yeah, I think we do.
Shard.
No, we don't know that.
Oh, okay.
No. That's wonderful. So, specifically, as per the definitions that I clarified on the difference between a spark and a shard, what you have is actually a spark of the thing. And I may have said it wrong previously, but what you have is exactly the of gluttony.
The what? You kind of slow down and then
there is a
quickly
magical
spit up.
Gem. How? Okay.
So we have
So
a
you
spark.
don't know that it is a spark of gluttony. You know that it is a magical gem. Yes, you have a spark. It's a magical gem inside of a belt that has not been pried off the belt yet. And Pelea has the belt.
Okay.
And that makes me think that we don't even know what was causing the corruption to occur. Exactly.
But we did know there was something about the gem in the belt, which is why Pillar grabbed it.
Okay. Well, it can't be any coincidence that this odd gem and then this weird... Oh, go ahead. Are you going to add something?
One in the background there are, in the background, one of the council members will step forward. This guy has the bright, fluffy wig on with his top hat, but attached to the top hat by strings are a pair of nice, big, thick milk bottle style spectacles, and pushing them up. Perhaps I can answer your understanding of the milking. The milk from the scrofa is impure. It's not clean. We found that it does stunt growth, and so a very long time ago we started mixing that into our sustenance drink to reduce the height of our population. Slowly. I wasn't the one that came up with the idea. It was generations ago, but it served its purpose.
So you're saying the milk of the scrofa? And she points at... do you mean the scrofa? Is that the... what is the scrofa? She looks
the scrofa
confused
is
at the...
huge. So it's a boar, effectively. It's one large boar that is actually huge, mechanically speaking. So it's about a 20-foot tall from foot to shoulder boar with huge tusks, with its babies, which are still large creatures. So the babies are almost as big as you are.
Okay. So she gestures scrofa at like the boar, and I'm assuming he's like, mm-hmm. The milk is not pure, so why did you guys want your growth process to be stunted?
Yep.
I guess
it was a cunning plan.
Oh, okay.
That was specifically beneficial for the fact that we needed to keep portion sizes to a minimum to help facilitate and make it easier to feed the ogre. And he just says that with a complete straight face. Completely owns up to the fact that they wanted to keep their height of their individuals short so that it was easier for the ogre to eat them.
Why would you want an ogre to eat your people?
Elara just looks like her jaw is just like...
Exactly, me too!
She's just like, oh, okay. And she's like, kind of going like this, like, oh, okay. You see her like, webbed ears just kind of like twitching a little bit more than normal. Help me understand why in all of, Horen, is that the entire world?
Yeah.
Why in all of Horen would you want... Why would you want to feed your people to an ogre?
Because the magical properties and the powers that he had would save all of us. He was very good at he would bless us, and when we would feed him, he would only keep to the meal that we provided. He would milk the cow, which we couldn't milk, and then he would bless us with many gifts from on high. Or at least that's what the contract was.
What gifts were these?
And it was easier to stunt everyone's growth down to the appropriate serving size so that we didn't have to chop people in half and store the other parts of the bodies. It was just simpler and easier to feed him whole quilting. What?
You see, like,
confused.
Despite being like blue and she has like a little bit of sea greens, like you see just kind of like a little bit of the gills in her face, just kind of like, and like she turns like an actual green, and she's like, How do you choose who gets eaten?
Oh, that's a very simple process of, and he no couldn't hear you, Matthew. He moves behind a bookcase, pulls the bookcase to one side, and you see that there is a huge wheel with a whole series of names, just in little segments over the wheel, and.
I would like to look for a receptacle for Alara to vomit into, and then bring it to her.
You grab it, and she's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Plenty.
I hold your hair.
And then she's like, thank you. And as you like let go of her hair, you like pull out a couple like seashells.
Oh, sorry. Here you go.
Oh, thank you. Those are friends. But, what if it? Are there children on that wheel?
Oh, no, we wouldn't be heartless like that. No, once they reach a certain age, then they can be put onto it. Once they reach the age of accountability, they're placed upon the wheel. So don't worry about it. And the wheel is perfectly fair. Everyone's got the same size, regardless of situation and position. Of course, the council members aren't put on the wheel because that would just ruin. That would cause a lot more problems. We'd just have to explain everything as we're going along. Honestly, it's been a very fair and simple system. It's worked for a very long time, and it's worked ever since it was first instigated. It's just been a great system.
I get
Population control.
I get that this generation was brought up with the previous generation telling you that this is the way that you should do things. However, the rest of the world would judge you as sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these guys are pretty fucked up, not gonna lie.
How often do you spin the wheel of death?
Oh, it differs depending on when and how hungry he was, but usually only once every 10 to 15 days or so.
What? How do you have enough people?
Well, if you'd like me to explain that process with you, I'm glad to, maybe away from sensitive ears, but when an adult cooking and...
No, that's fine. I've vomited enough. I just mean that, how long are your lifespans? Surely your population would diminish so quickly if you're killing off people every 10 to 15 days.
Yeah, we don't have much of a lifespan. I mean, it's adequate. We council members have the longest lifespans, but everyone else is they reach adulthood, and it's usually pretty good. That's solid. I mean, a randomized circumstance does tend to cause a little bit of a hard calculation for lifespan.
All right,
We get blessed.
There is a time that we can discuss the things that have occurred. However, right now, I think a good thing to be discussing is what is it exactly that the ogre was providing to you that now needs to be replaced by some way, so that your people can still have the sustenance that they require?
Yes, what is this blessing?
Very simple. The ogre's presence, since he was here, we've not been visited by the hag witch, Morwen.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
So it would seem if you were if the ogre was eliminated and the hag was eliminated, all of your problems would be gone. Is this correct?
I wouldn't say all of our problems. Many problems might still. I mean, we'd have our own. Like every town has problems, but yeah. I mean, Morrowind was a big problem for a little while, or at least according to the history books and the records. And he'll waddle across to another bookcase, and he'll pull out a book that is quite finely bound. It has been cracked open many times, and it just simply inscribed the contract. And he'll hand it to any of you who would like to observe the contract and understand it. It's mostly a journal that you pass through of detailed inscriptions of the time when the initial contract was made with the ogre, and since then the dealings.
So I agree with the professor doctor that the things that you are doing are very barbarous to my ears. However, I can understand why you would not think this. I do believe that the rest of the people need to know what has occurred, so that they can determine what is just and what is not. We will take care of this Morrowind. You may not recognize, but you are in the presence of one of the greatest hunters in the land. And I elbow the greatest hunter in the land.
I'm just like, wait, are you talking to me? I'm lost right now.
Yes, so we will we will take care of Morrowind.
We'll take care of Mormon, but I will send a letter to my family.
I would like to look at that book too. But you were saying about your family.
I'll send a letter. We have I wouldn't say we have jurisdiction over here, but we take care of this area. So I'll at least see if maybe Uncle Trevor can send some people down, and at least provide protection, some sort of money. I mean, not money, food, and to teach you guys how to actually be people and not scumbags.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of, yeah, but that'd be great. Investigation check from Amber, sorry, Alara.
That's okay.
Sorry, Alara, for reading the book.
Okay. That is a 12.
I would just like to take this moment to say I am also shocked and appalled at everything.
Can I get a piece of
There
paper
we
and a
go.
pen? As I ask one of the guys.
Yes, you can.
Alright.
And another of the council members will go off and get you what you need. With the 12, there's a lot in here, a lot of information that you just struggle to really sift through. But there are some things in the earlier entries that you can understand quite clearly. According to the writings in here, there is something that you can read between the lines. Morwen started all of this. She was the one. She must have been the one that set it all up, because she wasn't a problem beforehand. Then she turned up, and the solution turned up so suddenly and straight away that Morwen must have initialized all of this. The boar that doesn't grow anywhere else, that can be milked by the ogre that milks it. Everything was just a little too conveniently placed after Morwen came in and terrorized the city a couple 100 years ago.
Hang on. Shit.
Cecil, how is that letter coming?
Oh, yes, I'm writing it as we speak.
Would you like to dictate it? I have excellent penmanship.
Oh, okay. You know what? Yeah, I'll do that. Here you go. My penmanship is whack, bro. Basically, is going to state exactly what happened here. That we need to summon some beast masters, beast hunters, to take care of the boar, find a place that they can go, or they can take him back to the fortress. Maybe we can, try to help them out. Also to send some sort of assistance, maybe some hunters that are bored, to watch this place, protect the place, and maybe show the people that they need to not eat garbage. Bring some rations to help them out, because we kind of annihilated their whole ecosystem just now. So
Ecosystem just now.
just now,
Period.
yeah.
As a reminder, that you haven't just destroyed their entire economy. What you've stopped is just the generation of the height stunting milk. Any other milk will do. The powder is something separate. That was something that Theo learned about previously, that the men had studied, knew about, that was a thing that a lot of places had. All that you've stopped is the height stunting.
Alara has kind of like fallen back while they're discussing all of this, and she takes a starfish and she kind of twirls her hair up, and she's pinned her hair back so she can really dig through the pages and concentrate. And she looks up. Theodora, come here. Come closer. So I remember when I told you that Morwen tends to present things like offers to solve problems or grant solutions that you desperately desire, but they always come with a price?
She was likened to a devil, if I remember correctly.
A little bit. But I think she actually offered the solution of the ogre. So this boar that doesn't appear anywhere in this countryside, just shows up, and then the milk becomes tainted. Or what appeared first, so that I'm understanding it correctly?
Morwen herself appeared first.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so she became a problem.
She appeared first, and she started terrorizing the city with nightmares. Okay. And then the solution, which was the ogre, came in.
Gotcha. Okay, so it actually looks like this document says that what we had suspected, that Morwen had been this problem for a long time, wasn't actually the case. It doesn't look like really was a problem at all until suddenly she appears. The country, or the people, start having nightmares and are terrorized by her, and then all of a sudden this random solution of this boar that isn't really a part of the ecosystem or the natural wildlife, and the ogre that milks the boar suddenly appear as this, oh wow, we can save the people, this boar can offer a blessing that can protect the people and then Morwen can go away. But look at this weird, messed up cost it comes with, where, yeah, well, they're protected from Morwen, but we get to eat the people.
Yeah, I know you come from a place where there actually isn't any crime or anything, but a lot of big cities with a lot of crime actually have whole families operate like this. They'll swoop in to the market, pick someone who's down on their luck, and then they'll smash their stuff and say, you owe us protection money and we won't do this again.
But I think it's very interesting that it shows that Morwen did appear first. And then then this solution appeared, and then she was gone. That's her total MO, though, is she'll offer a solution, but it comes at a price.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's interesting. This is an example of how she works.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you wish for me to revise this letter anymore, or is this fine? We can send it off.
It's good. We're just letting them know that this town's gonna need some help, and that there are some beasts here that need to be picked up. Pretty much it, to be honest. Sorry, I have all my figures fell. I'm like fixing them. Sorry, guys.
One of you, what is your courier system here? Like, how do we send post?
I got it.
You got okay. Here it is.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna do that's make it nice and all neat. I'm gonna go outside and I'm going to take out a little flute. And since we're in the territory that I live in, I just go and I just wait for an owl to come. No matter how long it takes, I will stand there waiting till I guess a little owl like this.
You stand there and wait a while.
Yep.
Yes, with a bow tie and everything.
Hell yeah!
And comes to pick up your message.
I give it to him, and I say, I look at it. Let's see. Do I recognize this owl? What do I recognize this owl? I'll just say owl number 3.
So, yeah, owl number 3. Just to kind of to make sure that it's put out there. First of all, this works with a very typical courier system, like the old kind of courier systems, which is that each bird is specific to a location. And when you summon the bird, it only knows and has only really been trained to fly back to its location. As luck would have it, this is from your actual manor, and so you would know that the only place it knows where to go next would be back home.
To the fortress. So I'd say owl number 3, make sure you give this to either Uncle Trevor, Uncle Sigrid, or my father. And I say later.
And the owl says, who?
Get your dad jokes out of here.
I liked it.
Very well done.
Lara, did you, in this book, did it happen to reveal the location of this Morwen? Where we might be able to locate her lair?
She kind of thumbs through it a little bit more. Does she see anything about a location other than the history?
Only mention that she came from the sea. That's the only really detail that you're able to get from that. That she came from nearby, and she came to the village as the problem.
The only thing I see is that she came from the sea nearby, but I don't have a specific location. But this was also how long ago? She could have easily moved by then. Although hags do tend to keep their lairs. I mean, those are pretty coveted spots. So I would imagine the hag real estate market is probably pretty locked down already.
The seller's market. Well, I believe it was Cecil. I think that you indicated that there was something wrong with this crystal on this belt. I am going to try and cast a spell of identification to divine what it is, what it does, and I will cast Identify on it.
Okay. The spark of gluttony that you have in front of you is a portion of the entity that is known as gluttony. However, this is a very old one. This is not one that would have broken off when the demons were summoned this time. This would have been broken off when the demons were summoned last time. As such, this has had an opportunity to empower itself. As a spark of a greater entity, the more the sin of gluttony is performed around it, the stronger it grows. So, mechanically speaking, it is a level 3 spark. So it's mid-tier spark on a scale of 1 to 5. So it's a fairly powerful one, far surpassing the power of the little gem of greed that the party had experienced just previously. This is a strong entity. Unfortunately, no other details can be garnered from it through the identify spell.
So I know specifically that this is gluttony related.
Now you do, yes. 100% gluttony related.
Okay. I share that. So I cast it not as a ritual, but as just a spell. So I'm clutching a pearl while I'm very focused on this gem on a belt. And then it all comes rushing to me, and I share the details with everyone. So this is a piece of the demon of gluttony. It apparently fell off the last time this demon was visiting. Perhaps this scheme was to prevent the other creatures from eating food, so there would be more food for someone else.
As Alara takes a bite of food, should we not eat around it?
You were just puking your guts up. Are you sure you're all right with that?
I'm really hungry now.
That makes sense, yeah.
She also turns into a shark from time to time that eats things, so that seems normal.
Do I know that acts of gluttony will do things, will enhance the power of this shard? Spark?
A prolonged exposure to the shard, to the spark, can potentially cause you to be influenced more and corrupted by the spark, and more prolonged exposure to gluttonous activities, not just eating, but any sort of example of gluttony around the spark, empowers the spark.
We're gonna eat all the Oreos.
We already did that.
Oreos are canon in the adventure.
Oreos.
I think it is fine to eat in moderation. This is always everything in moderation.
Is there a way we should store this safely? I feel very hungry.
Well, from our previous instruction, I am led to believe that even these artifacts of evil can be used for good, and I would like to see if we can leverage this to be used for good.
Well, it is an artifact, but we have lots of magical devices already. We do not worry about those. I do not see a reason to treat this any different. It is just a big rock that is magical, not unlike the metal in your swords that is magical, or the fancy little shells from your waterfall in your home that were also magical.
You're seriously comparing all that stuff to greater demons.
I mean, it's all magic. I don't know where the shell come from.
I'm not disagreeing with the main point you're trying to make, but you're going about it a really weird way, Obi. Yeah, I do think that this needs to be considered with an amount of caution. I don't think that we should leave it here, obviously, and I do think that we can use it, but it's like Pillier says, we need to be careful to do everything in moderation if this is the way that it's going to be.
Well, and the belt has magically shrunk. It looks like you could put it on now and just carry it that way.
Because my argument would be that, yes, everything is magic to some degree, but could you not argue that different magics are more dangerous than others, or some have maybe inherently evil properties?
I don't know anything about magic. I don't know. It's all Greek to me.
But I will say that my seashells in the waterfalls do not make you, prolonged exposure to them do not make you more gluttonous.
When I used my divine sense when we were underwater, I felt a dark shard, dark energy coming from me, coming from Theo, and now that energy is also coming from Pelir, and it's also coming from the belt. I don't know why it's coming from us three exactly, because I can't really pinpoint. I forgot that was I able to pinpoint that it's a certain type of sin, or is it just a dark energy, Theo? Okay.
You can tell that there is a taint,
There
but
you go.
not specifically what kind of taint.
All right. So, whatever it is in that belt, the orb or whatever, it's not good, and we shouldn't use it. That's what I'm thinking.
I would like to study it some more. I will try to attune myself with it and see if any more secrets are revealed this way. I am very disciplined. You do not have to worry about me, Cecil.
I also have a small magical arsenal of stuff to use against corruptive, evil forces. So if it gets too bad, I'll let you know.
All right. Oh, and before anything, I tell Jorgen to let go of the guy. Completely forgot about him.
Straightens his clothes. Right, that is quite enough of that. Thank you for dealing with this situation and presenting another situation. We will. I think it's best for the city, personally, if we don't tell anyone in the city what's been going on until after the problem with Morwen has been solved. We don't.
It's
want
funny
to bring
because you still think you're in
alarm
charge.
to the people unnecessarily.
I like to imagine that they're all like the same size as the bagel boss guy. If you guys know that guy that got beat up by the bagel boss, they're the same size.
I put the belt on.
I'm going to point at the lead guy that's trying to talk to us right now, and I'm going to tell him, convince me not to kill you for the shit you've done.
Oh, Theodora. You should not do that. Convince her not to have me kill you.
I was only doing what I was taught to be right.
And do you still think you're right about anything that you're saying?
Can I really? Can I? No, I don't. But can I really be judged for the lack of knowledge taught to me, or the supposed evil things that were taught to me by others? Really, the best thing to do for you right now would be to teach me and my people. Not kill me. Teach me how to be a good leader.
The thing is, you guys were exempt from the wheel. For some reason. You can say whatever you want. You can have your little smoothing, charming words. Not actually. The thing is, you're all terrible human beings.
Elara, who had taken a couple steps back, says, "What wheel?" As she had produced flame, and there's the wheels like burning behind her. But now you're going to need to learn to live in a world where your people don't die a horrible death every 10 to 15 days. I understand this was a way of life that was taught to you, and it is not my place to judge a culture or a way of life. I was not born into your culture. It is not my place to judge yours. I, however, do find it morally wrong to kill other people, though I see you probably thought you were doing the right thing by protecting your place. She's like, I'm really not going to get into it, but now you are free from this, and we are going to help you by going after Morwen. And now you don't have that sick wheel anymore, as it's like the flames just ignite higher and higher. We'll do our best.
What wheel? Wink.
Is this wheel like able to be customized as it is now? Like, can we take names off?
It's on fire. It's burning.
Oh, it's already
Oh, it's
burning.
been
Oh, I thought.
destroyed.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh man, I wanted to spin it with their names on it and see who gets punched in the face.
But it would seem to me that now it's a time for you to focus on finding ways to support your people and also maybe build taller buildings, because I have a feeling you're also going to get taller now. And then she looks kind of quizzically up in the air. Really hungry. and then she just kind of walks off.
Okay. All right. Well, the Crilltings, they don't know, but they're going to try. You've certainly proven that you're quite capable of beating them, and they don't want to spend any time inside of Jorgen's mouth, so they're going to try to support you in whatever way they need to. Whatever you request of them, they will give to you. Now, Pelé had put on the belt and begun the process of attuning to the belt, so that's going to take him an hour to be able to do. Effectively a short rest to do. So do you guys go anywhere specific in order to take that short rest, or do you just do it there in the council hall?
I feel like this council hall right now is ours, so I will tell the councilmen to go and tell their people that everything is fine and that we're going to be using this room for a little bit.
If nobody requires me immediately, I need to go pray. Like now. Alright, I'm out.
Fine. Yep.
Okay. Alright. Theo, do you go anywhere specific to pray?
The roof! Go to the roof, and I get down on my knees.
A little bit of quiet time.
And I just sit and kind of play with the wind, feel it, let it feel me. And as I'm gazing out at the horizon, I'm thinking that it's not dusk yet, but the sky is starting to turn kind of orange. And I'm like, I don't really know how you work, but I just want to say, as your friend, that if there was ever a place that needed to be wiped off the map in order to obtain a clean start, this would be it. And then I'll just stay up there in contemplation.
Pelé. You do. If I understand it right, everyone does kind of shove the council out. You have the room to yourself. Pelé begins a process of attunement. During the process, you notice something new. So you've attuned to magical items before. You've focused on them and meditated in such a way that you become attuned to these magical items before. This one is a little bit different. The very process of attuning to an item that currently has a spark of gluttony imbued within it and attached to it is you almost feel like you're you're slowly being drawn out of your body. You're having an out-of-body experience as you feel something pulling at your soul, almost pulling it away from the material plane and tugging in a particular direction. It's hard to really understand where or what, but something north of where you are seems to be just naturally pulling you away. When the ritual of attunement ends and you get that snap of inspiration and understanding of what you have in front of you, you understand quite clearly that not only are you under greater threat of being corrupted by this spark of gluttony while you are attuned to it, but there is a presence in the back of your mind and an entity that you can sense is fully aware of you, who you are, where you are, what you're doing. There is a person or an entity that can see and hear you right now. And in your mind's eye, you can almost see a wicked smile right at the edge of your view. Teeth that are very sharp and yellowy, just poking out behind some very cracked, dry lips. As it's just a soft sound of laughter in the background. What do you do?
Alright, so in the council chamber, it's me, Cecil, and Obsidian.
Yep.
And Elara, I believe.
Yeah. She stepped out to eat.
No? Okay.
It's just the boys. Let's go.
Yes.
And Jorgen.
Alright, so just sitting on a chair, leaning back, waiting for all the magics to do their works, and then suddenly I am drawn, suddenly like a compass pointing to the north. I step straight, and I say, Cecil, Obsidian, I do not feel super great suddenly. However, I feel quite certain that where we need to head is north. There is a connection between this gem and perhaps its previous owner, the demon himself, is north of here.
Good. Are you gonna take it off now?
I mean, we knew, I mean, yes, they are here somewhere. It is good we know what direction, but we knew that they were here before anyway, right? Or we still need to focus on Morwen, right?
It seems that we can use it to like locate the entities themselves, right? That's what you're basically saying, right, Valir?
It is this way, and that we know that the hags were involved in summoning these demons. So I do not believe it is a leap of a tremendous leap to assume that one, the other, or both are located north of here. And while I would be very relieved to take this item off of my person, I would prefer to use it to our benefit.
I don't know if that sits well with me.
I mean, it is a magical compass. It says go north. It even points north. Everyone seems so concerned, but it seems no different than so many magics we already have.
Well, but you gotta understand that what I feel. I mean, obviously, it's my bias because I'm a paladin. I use my powers that people don't have in this party to feel this energy, and that's not an energy that I want any one of you people having on you. I'm not having on you, like using. And it's not only that, we still need to come up with where exactly what we're going to do next, because now we can either continue with Morrowind, or we can follow this compass that Palir found. We have to talk with the other people.
Well, what else do we need to do here in this town? I mean, we can just go. I mean, I appreciate your righteous enthusiasm, but you seem to have taken over control of the entire town. Are you going to continue to administer, or are we going to leave and leave everyone exactly where they were? Are we going to call a local lawkeeper to come and clean up this business? I mean, what is the game plan here, Cecil, when you said, I'm in charge now, in so many words?
I didn't say that.
In so many words.
Well, you were taking care of your stuff, but what you missed was I sent a letter to my family, and they're sending, I asked them to send a group of hunters to help this place, make sure that they're getting straight back up, take the animals that are in the back.
Yes, I know that, but so you never really explained. Does your family have like legitimacy, or is your family just warlords who are going to come into town and take it over, and we do whatever we want and we don't answer to the kingdom? How does that work?
We're our own section. We live in a fortress, and we have not millions. Wow, we have a lot of people that follow us, that are our allies and that are our clans.
Right, but are you citizens of the kingdom of Irmios, and do you follow the law of the lawkeepers, or is it we are the clan and we have our own law, and if a lawkeeper or someone from Oakwell shows up, we say we do not listen to you because we do whatever we want?
We follow the law of the lawkeepers, but we are not necessarily associated with the kingdom of Irmios.
So is this a problem where a group of people who are not really government are coming and taking over a port city of a kingdom? I'm just saying, I don't want any problems with lawkeepers, and I just like to keep things clean and simple and not involve them if we don't have to. And a large army marching on a port town seems problematic.
It's not an army. It's just a couple of hunters and some beast hunters that are going to take care of the beast, and they're going to help these people. They're going to train them into being not assholes and try to teach them, like that guy, the head said. We do good. We hunt monsters. We take jobs. They leave us alone. We don't cause any trouble. That's just
Obi snickers at the idea that someone from Cecil's family is going to teach other people not to be assholes.
Why are you laughing?
You are so right to the point in wanting to finish things. I imagine your family's the same way. So that they will come and be here a while just seems out of character for you, but you are not your family. I'm sure there are other good family members who will be great.
I'm not like my family. I'm my own person. Okay, I don't have a kinder touch like some of the females or even some of the older males that have become fathers. I wish you would not say any of that about my family.
I didn't say anything other than I imagine your family is like you, but maybe they're not all like you. But conveniently, only the guys are here, and no one else heard that. And
what? Even
at this point, Alara
Meanwhile,
comes through the door.
There's Lila Illume. Let me tell you, Lila.
He's telling us about his family.
Is a badass swordswoman. Sorry, all right. She has the crescent moon blade. She's literally one of the strongest Illumes. All right, and she's kind of like me. All right, and then there's some people that aren't like us, that are good people. I'm not a good person. I'm an asshole. I understand that, Obi. Thank you for letting.
I did not say anything.
You didn't have to say anything, Obi. I get it.
Why is everybody yelling?
I don't know why I'm yelling. Jorgen, get over here. I'll just start pegging you.
She like casts speak with animals, and she's like, "Why is everybody yelling?"
I don't know. I don't really understand. That's Jorgen.
Boy.
He feeds me. That's pretty much where we're at. Okay. So, I don't know how bad the delay is at this point, but meanwhile, let me interrupt you all. On top of the roof, Theo, praying for retribution and praying for something to come in and just level the town, notices something about 5 miles north of the town. There is a small copse of trees that now has a very thick fog seeming to just spread out of it, and ominously starts approaching your position. It's starting to, like a cloud that's just stepping out of the forest, the little copse of trees heading towards the town.
I stand up, look very heroic, and then I narrow my eyes at it, and then I let my glider expand, and then I will fly down and rush in to the place and say, I believe Morwen is coming. There is a fog on the horizon 5 miles out, swiftly approaching. An unnatural one.
We should leave.
A smirk comes over Alara's face. We cannot leave. She will find us. We might as well stay.
And we will find her, but you said we're not ready yet.
It doesn't matter where. She will find us. If she means to kill us, she will kill us.
People may find us one day, but we don't have to make it easy for them. We can run.
She likely just wants to talk with us, and then she looks directly at Cecil, and she's like, "Talk with us."
Listen,
and
we can leave if we want. My homeland, the fortress that I live in, is protected. If we want to leave now, we can leave. I'm in agreement with you. We're not ready.
I like
leave
that.
your friends behind, and then she's like, she likely wants to see what we know of her, or maybe even offer us one of her deals. If you want to run, we can try. I won't stop you.
I feel it is at this point I would like to share with Theodora and Alara what I have already shared with Cecil and Obsidian. That over the last hour or so, the last measurement of time that occurs in this land, that I have grown to a deeper understanding of this gem, and I sense that it is pulling me to the north. Furthermore, I am not quite certain, but I have the suspicion that there is an awareness in this gem.
How fun!
If there is the talk of tactics and strategies and this sort of thing, perhaps it would be best if I excused myself.
Can you just take it off?
I kind of said that.
I suppose, yeah. If the thing is, if the darkness is coming to us, then there's no reason for me to maintain its position on the person. I will take it off.
I'm just like,
You're still attuned to the item, even though you've taken off the belt. But there is a slight pull that releases itself from you. Just the very act of not wearing it, that presence and that understanding of this essence that was somewhere north of you is no longer with you. While you're not wearing the belt, you can't sense the approach of something nearby. You could test it out. You could put it on, sense, take it off, and not sense. That kind of
Marco, pull.
but you don't know whether or not the entity would be able to sense you, whether or not you're wearing the item. But your connection to it disappears when you're not wearing it.
As soon as I remove the belt, I no
As
longer
you guys
feel this presence. So I believe that we are not being spied upon.
But when you do take off the belt, there is a mighty roar that announces itself, that is audibly heard by everyone, coming from that little cloud pile that is north, helping you all to understand and connect that that cloud that's moving in is more closely connected to that gem that you just took off, because it happened almost immediately. I think each of you would come to, or at least some of the more intelligent members of your party would come to the understanding that it is not Morwen that is 5 miles north of you that it is on its way, but Gluttony itself.
So I renew the motion to run.
I second that now.
Yeah, let's go.
We cannot leave these people undefended when we have brought this upon them.
He wants the stone. He wants the belt. So if we take the belt with us, then he should follow us.
Yes, running away is the best possible course of action for everyone.
Well, if we run to a place away from these people, then won't it follow us? So then they're not in danger.
Yes, and it can follow us to a giant fortress.
That is protected, blessed, by the way. We are legitimately safe.
Obi is heading towards the door.
Come get it over here.
Place the belt on Jorgen or something. He has like a little pouch. Just put it in there. Let's go.
Well, if the idea is to lead this terrible creature away from this town, then I will
walk and talk. We will do a walk and talk. Walk and talk.
Sure.
I'm helping you put the belt back on.
I'm putting the belt back on so I can determine that if this is in fact happening the way that we want it to happen.
Are your
roll a
people...
perception check?
Cecil, are your people...
Walk and talk. We are out the front door.
We're walking and we're talking. Cecil, is your family like along a coastal city? Are you inland?
We're in the forest.
Are you inland? Are you on a sea?
No, nowhere near the sea.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because we could just swim. I don't know if Gluttony can swim.
12 on the perception.
You don't know. All right, so with your 12, Pellier, you can tell that absolutely yes, Gluttony is on its way. Gluttony is about 4 miles north of you at this point and getting closer. Quilting Bay is right on the edge of the sea. Cecil's homeland is quite a few, I want to say 100 miles inland. You're welcome to start running in that direction. You can do so, but it is close and it is on its way. We will deal with Gluttony getting close to you as you need to run away. However, I must unfortunately say that the delay between me and the players has gotten to such a degree now that it's actually becoming unbearable to be able to play, and what's about to happen requires a bit more quick action. So we're going to end our session here, guys, unfortunately, as our heroes start running away from Quilting Bay with a greater demon hot on their tails. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. I'm very sorry that we've had technical problems this week that have been plaguing us, trying to work on improving situations. But as usual, up fairly quickly, does Lara, Amber, do you have anything you wish to share?
I will be playing in Saltmarsh Stories again this Friday on the Greyhawk channel. I believe, I always blank for some reason. I believe it starts at 6 or 7 Eastern time. And our next game isn't until August after that. But we will be level 10 this time. We were level 5 last time, so it's really ramping up. Otherwise, that's it for me. I really enjoyed just like the very dramatic, like I can just see like the mist like that's like roaring and chasing after us. It's very like suspenseful as we're like run, 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 walk and talk, walk and talk.
What color is it to you?
What color is it to me?
Yeah.
I see it as like this deep purple black with like with like black like electricity like flecking out, like it's like
lots of fluffy billowing, looks like a cumulus cloud that's rolling. Oh yeah.
And like it's like kicking up dirt and it's like growling and it just looks very ominous. Like I mean, it's a greater demon. It's not gonna be like rainbows and so yeah, I really enjoyed that. Yeah, that's me. Who to pass it to? I'll pass it to Theodora.
Hi, I'm Casey. Casey H on social media. I'm here half the time, and I'm over on the Greyhawk channel the other half the time. I do the Old Faith right before the Saltmarsh Stories, so you can catch us there on Friday, one after the other in quick succession. You can also find me at Gen Con this year. I will be walking around, and please feel free to say hi.
Me too.
Her too. And I just wanted to say that I have, let's see. I know that we're quitting because the delay is getting crazy for you, Teo, but earlier on, the delayed laugh from us doing something made everything that we did twice as funny, because I think that DM reactions are the best. And every time you did a delayed laugh, that emphasized your delight. And that was delightful in and of itself. And I will pass it to Carl.
Hi, I'm Carl. I was playing Pilar de Winter. I also play Lafcadio Whitehorn, the Tabaxi Warlock. I do that Sunday nights on this channel. And I play with Casey, who I will be with at Gen Con, and as well as Amber. I thought it was hilarious how Theodora excused herself, went up to the roof to pray that this city was wiped from the face of the map. I definitely did not see that coming. I'm very, very charmed by it. I will pass the remainder of my time to Solomon.
Hey, what's up? I'm Solomon. I play Cecil Hathaway, Paladin of Lumencia, Fortress of Light. I don't play anywhere else. I want to, throw that out there. And I really, really love everyone's interaction with my boy Cecil. I'm starting to get a lot more comfortable with everybody else. And it's just really fun to finally get like, okay, this is the character I've always been like thinking about in my head. This is how he acts, this is what he does, and to see like that actually come through, and it's really cool, it's really fun, and it's really awesome. But Matt left, so I can't pass it to Matt, so I'll pass it to Dio. Oh, he's back.
He's back.
Okay. Well, looks like Matthew's back now. We'll give Matthew an opportunity. Phone dead. Can you speak? Okay. Hello from Matthew. No microphone. I'm sure he enjoyed something today. I'm sure he had a good time. And you should follow him. He has a social media handle that is It's just something, but it's listed below his name. Check him out. He's awesome. I'm very sorry. He's my brother-in-law, so I should have known. Anyway, I'm going to steal the time from Matthew. Ilara eating was great, apparently. Or the need to eat was great. So, I wanted to just end with a thank you to everyone. I'm very sorry that the delay was getting to such a bad degree. And yes, Theo, I did enjoy all of the jokes. I just enjoyed them a couple seconds behind all of you. It was a lot of fun, but it struggled. I do enjoy sessions where I can drop a little bit extra lore and a little bit of an extra explanation and set it up for something. Quite glad that that Pelea decided to attune to the item, because it was attunement to the item that kind of sparked off a greater demon moving in. So next session will hopefully be a big lore keeping and a big momentous occasion within our session. So please join us next time. This is the only game that I stream. But if you like what we do and you like hanging out and talking about D&D, check out our Discord channel, Teovan's Heroes. It's where a bunch of really great people hang out, and you can be one of those great people by clicking on that link. So thank you very much, everyone. Please follow us here. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe to us here if you happen to be lucky. Like, if you have Amazon Prime, as a lot of people do, did you know that you can get a free Twitch subscription through Amazon Prime? Click on that subscribe button if that's the case, because it's not going to cost you anything extra, and it does help support us. Hopefully, might improve my delay issue. Right. So, thank you very much, everyone. Please, thank you for following and doing all the wonderful things that you do, and we will see you next time.
Good night, everybody.